Okay, that is documentation of speaker companies. Speaker companies, again, this is the malicious guise under which a public entity is monitoring, engaging in the same exact criminal elements of monitoring within the workplace. And that is where you literally, the job is the facilitating environment. This is where the entity is keeping the light source over you at your place of work. This is where the entity is invading and maintaining engineered light at your place of work. This is where those that are working for this company, which is a third party group stalker, this is, in other words, a commercial means whereby the same criminal elements of monitoring, which is, again, understand how you're filtering all this information. It's demonic activity that's occurring, which is terrorism in the workplace. All right, so this is an unprecedented level of what is harassment. This is, again, never contemplated under existing employment law. They are engaging in demonic conduct, amplifying helicopter activity while I'm on the job, talking to these coworkers. SCI is a third party. Kimberly Fletcher is a third party. And let me be clear, her voice on the phone is audible activity. It is working to monitor me. But this is also a malicious actor engaging in the pattern of conduct while I work for the company. This is no mystery. And again, the entity engages in conduct. It's not a coincidence that the entity is sounding helicopter activity while I'm consumed in a business call. The entity continues to provide additional liability for third-party group stalkers who I will personally identify in civil and criminal prosecutions while it is serving to incriminate them. And that was Maria Solis, Selena Robledo, and Kimberly Fletcher. I'm on a conference call. And then in the name of what is the business of this third party, SCI, Speaker Companies Incorporated. I want you to look at their logo, because Speaker Companies is monitoring American citizens. It's a facilitating venue where there would never be any sun or any sunlight over the property, over my office, over my apartment, where the entity is maintaining a light source. For example, in Ontario, California, at 706 West Holt Boulevard, where I have shown the presence of the light source over my head at that location at San Antonio and Holt, at that Starbucks from 7:52 in the morning, late until the evening. That is all day long. At no point, based on the engagement in the pattern of conduct as I documented, in other words, the operation of the so-called natural environment, if that was the natural environment then this is in no way capable of occurring. But the reason why it's occurring is because it's a specific environment where I'm subject to a criminal pattern of conduct by the entity. And this is occurring while you're on the job. Understand the ways in which the people of the state are providing the malicious guise under which that same exact pattern of conduct remains ceaselessly underway. That is the identification of third-party group stalkers. Again, this is ongoing criminal facilitation, which is worthy of federal prison. While she is engaged in providing her voice as a means of audible activity, while I am surrounded in a specific environment, the people of the state will suffer such criminal repercussions. And so I have already published the names of many of those that are affiliated with speaker companies. And this one in particular, Kimberly Fletcher, while she is on the phone, I don't see her name on this list. So let me show you again, because I want to make sure that you understand that was documentation of what is in every way an unacceptable method of group stalking by the public entity that's acting vicariously. Okay, Kimberly Fletcher is a manager with SCI Administrative Services Division, and she's engaged in the criminal elements of monitoring, and she is doing so also the malicious guise under which this is a group stalker that works for a third-party company. Understand how the people of the state are targeting you in concert with the state. All right, understand how that's operating. And that's literally underway. And so while I'm on a conference call, yes, I am capturing the entity group stalking me, terrorizing, threatening my life, engaging in the criminal elements in concert with the people in the specific environment while I am on a conference call. So I will handle both. And the fact that a target individual has to deal with that. And let me be clear, the ordinary target individual is one that is likely handcuffed, okay, arrested, in other words, arrested with fear, okay, arrested with intimidation, which is the intention. That's the specific purpose behind stalking someone in helicopters, behind group stalking someone in such a malicious manner as those who you're working with. Understand the traditional definition of stalking versus group stalking, where you're dealing with those whose name you know, they work with you, they're next to you. How are you going to be able to define them as stalking? Let me be clear. Group stalking is something that was designed, it's malicious in every way. It was designed to be something that's incapable of being established, being proven. Understand that. Okay, so the ability to identify, I'm letting you know, not only is this, these are psychopaths who are highly malicious. This is demonic activity in every way. This is why I'm so specific with regard to what they're doing and the demonic, that criminal, that malicious mindset behind what they're doing. The ongoing knowledge that they maintain while they do it. Okay, this is all relevant to the creation of federal policy to punish it. Okay, it is evil at a level that you cannot fathom. So the entity is engaging in highly malicious malicious conduct, stalking you with by those whose name you know, who you're encountering them. You're on the job, you're right by them, but you're talking about the ordinary target individual that's not recognizing the environment. All right, they're just freaked out by the environment. They're not aware of the significance of what these demons are doing all around them, moving up, pacing all around, but want to look different. So you'll have multiple faces. There are a bunch of demons that are group stalking you in the workplace. All right. And again, not only have I established the pattern of conduct, not only is it unreasonable to suggest that it's stopping or ceasing, because first of all, it's a cloudy day. You've already seen the engineered light at nightfall. And by the way, like I said, it's unreasonable once you are establishing any pattern, including the criminal pattern of conduct of stalking, which is here, it's group stalking. It is unreasonable to suggest that it's suddenly going to abruptly pause. It does not. And you've also seen the demonic behavioral pattern in every way showing aggression, in every way engaging in retaliation, in every way engaging in increasing that threat. Such psychopaths are not going to abruptly stop the pattern of conduct. It does not cease on a cloudy day. The entity is engaging in an ongoing pattern of conduct. And this is logic I'm speaking to you now. And this is how it operates under the law. It's unreasonable to suggest that at any point in time, it's just going to stop. All right. The entity is engaging in the ongoing pattern of conduct and in the specific environment. And while you're doing so, while I'm on a business call and having to be placed with that, to that level of fear, terrorism in the workplace. Okay, you're talking about damages that are incalculable. Okay, you're talking about serious damages. And SCI, a small little company, up in Palo Alto, they're not going to survive, okay? They're not going to survive this prosecution. So I want to be clear also, not only have I established the pattern of conduct, the entity engaged in the same exact identical behavioral pattern in the workplace while I'm at Harupa Valley, by the way. The entity is rising the sun over my hotel room while I'm at 231 South Euclid Avenue in Ontario at Economy Inn. We're keeping that light source in the window of Tracy Banks, a third-party group stalker, a demon-possessed, highly malicious actor whose name I know, okay, who's monitoring me in concert with the people of the state while she's driving me to Harupa Valley Country Village Apartments. That's Riverside County, folks. The entity is keeping the light source that you see here all day long in the window through the windshield of that vehicle while I go from 2301 South Euclid Avenue in Ontario, California to Country Village Apartments in Harupa Valley, California, where the entity is maintaining the light source over my head from morning until evening. The entity was aiming engineered light. Those were demons that were opening and closing the door at that office. This is already published documentation. They were molesting me with light. This is sexual violence by demons who are monitoring. Understand how the demonic pattern, how the sex offense perpetrated by all of that is being filtered into what's occurring in the workplace. These are damages that, again, this company is not going to survive. It's not. Okay? A public entity monitoring you and then doing it in concert with the people. Okay, so this is why you have psychopaths that engage in what is nothing other than enhancing the punishment. You're not avoiding it. You're not helping your criminal co-conspirator by stalking me and flying over my head in a helicopter. They are literally confirming everything that Erica Spencer is telling you is the truth. That's why I'm flying over her head in helicopter right now, because I am a delusional psychopath and I don't know how else to react to the words that are coming out of her mouth. That's what that psychopath is telling you. Okay, so I want to be clear. The people of the state are going to pay dearly, and that's based on the unprecedented crime that they are committing. And the ways in which you are punishing, it's a matter of justice because you engaged in what is highly malicious and because you never anticipated that it's capable of being literally surrounded with legislation and policies to protect that targeted individual. So what does that have to do with it? No, you're going to in every way enforce the rights of the targeted individual. And this is terrorism, a threat to your life while you're on the job. And then psychopaths that are looking in your face on a conference call while they're monitoring you. And they were also monitoring when I went to Palo Alto, California. The entity was maintaining a light source over me in Northern California, people. Like I tell you every day, day in and day out, this light source that's remaining at Alvarado Gardens is not entering the state of Florida. That light source is not visible from Palo Alto. While you're on a plane and you're flying from place to place, the sun is not maintaining its place of zenith over everyone's head at everywhere in the state of California. The entity was maintaining that specific environment. That's not the natural environment. You're understanding, and it's being revealed to you what's actually a demonic environment that surrounds you, and it's also serving a criminal purpose. And this is why the entity is engaged in such hovering, obsessive stalking, which is an ongoing documentation. I'm literally cataloging. I'm literally taking tally of the ways in which the entity continuously threatens my life, and it's serving to prosecute Kimberly Fletcher, okay, by name. All right, not only affiliated with at Speaker Companies Incorporated, a third-party group stalker, the commercial means whereby a public entity is monitoring, all right, but also doing it while she is the audible activity Everything that's occurring in the specific environment is a threat to your life. They're monitoring. That's why they are surrounding with that impossible, unnatural, literally unintelligent environment. And all I do is break it down to you. All I'm doing is I'm letting you see with your own eyes and ears. Because if I tell you about light or shadows that are appearing on the ceiling, what does that sound like on its surface without having any proof of it? Oh, the pattern of conduct is that which is supposed to, it's intended, it's designed to falsely depict that targeted individual as one suffering from some mental incapacity. That's the pattern of conduct. That's the intention behind that. And it's for purposes of what is criminal defamation. Not that defamation that's currently recognized under existing tort law. It's criminal because it's serving the state's pattern of conduct of federal group stalking and monitoring to maintain that system of being concealed. Defamation is the P.O.C. And that's exactly what you get when you tell somebody, oh my gosh, I'm seeing my shadow on the ceilings. I'm seeing multiple shadows. It's like huge. And how would a normal person that's experiencing that doesn't know, that's exactly how you're going to react. And you're supposed to sound like you're suffering, like you're mentally like not all the way there. Okay, that's what it's supposed to sound like. Understand the malice behind that. You're going to punish for that. You're going to prosecute for that. Okay, it is currently 10:52 a.m. and this is documentation of speaker companies. Todd Speaker is going to pay out of the pockets. I'm literally going to drain the pockets of this company of Todd Speaker. This is ongoing criminal facilitation, and those are the repercussions of providing any sort of facilitation. Facilitation to the public entity that's engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring is criminal. Any facilitation. His business is a facilitation, a form of facilitation. His property. The government is monitoring on your real property. You're going to pay for that. Okay? And this is necessary in order to break up what is the system of federal group stalking and monitoring. The entity is relying on the people. So when the people learn that their companies will no longer exist, they will not survive civil prosecution. When they learn that their companies will be publicly put on display with regard to what it is that they're engaged in and the reality of what they're doing, because I want to be clear, they're not ignorantly engaged in the pattern of conduct. Oh, you're not ignorantly engaging in crossing paths with directed light. That's a demon. That's a demon that's wearing a particular brand or logo representing a specific company. So it's a matter of justice. This is how you're going to break that criminal partnership, that conspiracy. You're going to break that apart. It's going to implode because you know why? Because they're going to lose money. Okay, whatever inspires, whatever gets the results that is a matter of whatever gets there, whatever. Okay, by any means necessary with regard to enforcing justice. They're not going to like that. They're not going to be like to be identified as a group stalker, as a sex offender in the shoes of the government. They're not going to like being affiliated with that. They're not going to like the fact that their business name, all right, that reputation is going to be known worldwide for targeting American citizens engaging in terrorism in the United States. They're not going to like that. But that's the reality of what they're doing. You don't have to be hyperbolic. All you have to do is document it and then prosecute, because that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, it's currently, again, 10:54 a.m. This is documentation of the pattern of conduct that I'm subject to in the workplace. The light source does not go anywhere. The entity is maintaining a specific environment at all times, which you've already seen. I've documented it at nightfall. And even when you're looking at what's supposedly a cloudy day, not only are the demon-possessed entity maintaining the specific environment, that is maintaining methods of audible activity, which is amplified, maintaining methods of stalking in the path with light. The entity is also engaging what is maintaining engineered light, maintaining what is... the maintenance of light. So in other words, you're looking at a cloudy day, it's still light. Okay, so I want you to see the light is here. So don't be while you're talking about what's a demonic environment, you're getting through all of the methods of malice. Let me be clear. The demon possessed, these are psychopaths. You're just dealing with a bunch of psychopaths. And in the same regard, as you learn what are psychopaths, the demon-possessed population, highly malicious, infuriated, seething that they're being exposed and all of their methods. Okay, you're going to treat that psychopath like the dangerous threat to the public that they are. Okay, you treat any other crazy person, you're going to treat them with gloves. You're going to treat them like, okay, like you would, you put them in padded rooms. You make sure they can't hurt themselves or anybody, because that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with highly unstable people who have been engaging in what is a high crime for a long time. And they're engaging in the pattern of conduct. That's what you see, the LAPD flying around in relevant position, demon stalking in a helicopter, and the same exact specific environment remains. It doesn't change. It is currently 10:55 a.m. And again, how does the legal analysis go? How does logic follow? Okay, it is reasonable to suggest that, and this is actually how it goes. Once you have established the phenomenon, the fact that you are able to capture that which is impossible. I can't go up in the sky and make the sun stay over me for 10 hours in the day. Okay, that's capturing the phenomenon. When you're capturing the phenomenon, it's unreasonable to suggest, oh, well, that was just that one day. That was an anomaly. I don't think so. Okay, so, and that's not how it goes. And that's also not how the law operates when you are establishing the pattern of conduct. It just so happens to be that the public entity's pattern of conduct is demonic. Okay, so understand that that just happened. You're following the criminal. The criminal is engaging in this conduct. Well, that's the criminal's pattern of conduct. The targeted individual doesn't have anything to do with the ways in which the entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct. You're just documenting it, and you understand legally what's the definition of a pattern. You've got a definition that, the pattern is found there in the environment, because you have what's the operation of a government that's present in that phenomenon. That environment is a phenomenon. And I want to give you greater context. Not only am I going to show you how you're going to legally analyze this criminal pattern of conduct, because it's a government that's serving what's a criminal system, doing it in concert with the people of the state, violating your constitutional and human rights. I'm also going to give you greater context and let you know this is satanic. This is of Satan. So even that can be legally relevant, because you're going to prosecute it. That which is of Satan is a threat to your life. Not only by virtue of identity of the actor, the government and the people, but through their demented methods while they engage in that sick pattern, terrorism. Okay. And that's how you're going to prosecute, period. That's how you come up with the legal framework. And that's what I've done. So it's unreasonable to ever suggest that because the entity is getting worn out on one day, and by worn out, I mean, I'm giving you vivid illustration after vivid illustration after vivid illustration after vivid illustration, which, let me be clear, I don't have to, the case is already established. The ability to capture the impossible, you're talking about a demon-possessed entity that is nothing other than delusional and cannot accept its own fate. Okay, but that's not the target individual's responsibility. It's not their problem. It's not their issue. It's relevant too. How is it relevant at this point? Why are you giving vivid illustration and then documenting how they're still engaging in it? Because when you are understanding whether it is a matter of justice, whether the federal government should give grounds to disbanding police departments, whether they should, by they, I mean these disbanded police departments, these state actors, these government agencies, they're monitoring all of them. The entity is monitoring this entire conspiracy. The jig is up. Okay. So what do you do as a matter of punishment? That's why I'm showing you that, because you need to understand in every way, it is absolutely necessary. It's not an over knee-jerk reaction. It's not too much. It's not an over, you're not assuming that, no, you're not assuming anything. The reason why this unnatural, impossible environment is present is because it is the unthinkable. It literally is everyone. It's everyone. It literally is. And you're talking about with regard to punishing, and the ability to really trust what it is that your eyes are seeing. I understand that might be a process. And I also understand that that's going to take years and years and years of you seeing what is consistent documentation, an ongoing testament to what's absolutely impossible, but you've got a surefire pattern there. A pattern that is, again, that's establishing it beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay. But the entity is engaging in a specific pattern. It just so happens to be highly demonic. It is what it is. Okay, so you're going to follow the criminal conduct of the entity, and it is wrapping itself, it's surrounding itself with what is its own behavior. And that's that pattern. You're locked in that pattern. By definition, you can't get out of the pattern because that's what you're doing. It's cyclical. It's serial. It's ongoing. It's systematic. All right. They're engaging in what is a pattern that's highly demented. So you're going to treat them like every other unstable psychopath, all right, who sought to engage in that which is unfathomable against a defenseless and innocent American citizen. And by they, I mean, this is a gang stalking, group stalking. It's committed by a government, and the government is using the people. So where federal group stalking monitoring is underway, which is gang stalking, group stalking, the people of the state are in the position of the government. And they're engaging in what is demonic. Demons act in gangs. So I'm giving you not only spiritual insight, but I'm giving you a legal analysis for how you deal with this. People that are of this condition, this is darkness, okay? It's spiritual darkness, all right? So, and I'm not trying to preach, but I just want to break that down. This level of malice, it is nauseating to me. So you might hear a little bit of passion right now, but it's infuriating because it's something that is fully capable. I've encapsulated it. I'm going to prosecute by name and company. Okay. But the fact that the entity engages in this, and then you've got your co-conspirator, which is out here flying in helicopter, not helping Kimberly Fletcher whatsoever. I'm going to use this video and I'm going to prosecute her. Okay. I'm going to prosecute her. This is what the entity continues to do though. And this is what I'm saying. So I just want to make sure you understand that it's occurring within the confines of the workplace. And as unfathomable as that is, there may be many people that cannot place themselves in the shoes of the target individual, but I can. I am that target individual, but my ability I can place myself in the shoes of one who does not have a legal skill set, who does not have spiritual insight, okay, who doesn't have discernment. I can put myself in that person's shoes. And that, while you're looking at me and what I'm documenting, I feel for that person. This is what inspires, and this is what it's speaking to the advocacy for a policy that is necessary, because the entity intends to destroy that person. Okay, that person that is silent, that person that's right now sitting in a mental facility while they're being monitored. They've been kidnapped, they've been criminally defamed, and they're sitting in a facility right now by a government that is monitoring them and seeking to conceal them. That's what this is about. All right, so it's currently 11:01 a.m. This is the maintenance of the light source. It doesn't go anywhere, and you already know that. When you are looking at a day that's supposed to be cloudy, you're going to reference the body of evidence, which has shown the ongoing pattern of conduct, which does not stop. All right, and when you are, again, applying the law under the established pattern of conduct, it's not reasonable to suggest that all of a sudden it's going to stop for no apparent reason. All right, that's the P.O.C.